Part 5. Time passed, and though tongue still wagged, Obina and Ola's bond only grew stronger. What others saw as impossible, they nurtured with patience and faith. Obina often visited her family, bringing books for Ola and foodstuffs for her mother. He encouraged her to keep studying, reminding her that education was her bridge to freedom. One evening, under the dim glow of an oil lamp, Obina placed a small brown envelope on the table. Ola, he said gently, these are your admission papers. I have helped you apply for a scholarship program abroad. You have been selected. For a moment, Ola could not speak. The lamp flickered and her eyes filled with tears. Abroad? Me? But how? Obina smiled. Because you deserve it. You have worked hard and I believe in your future. The same future your father once dreamed for you. Her mother, seated quietly at the corner, began to sob softly, lifting her hands in gratitude. God is faithful, she whispered. Didn't I tell you, my daughter, these too shall pass? The next few weeks were a whirlwind: preparation, paperwork, farewells. On the day of her departure, the whole village gathered at the bus park. Even those who once mocked her came to bid her farewell, their eyes filled with awe. As the bus door closed, Ola looked out the window and saw Obina standing there, his hand raised in a promise. Go, Ola, he said. Go and make the world see what grace can do. And as the bus rolled away, tears streamed down her face, not of sorrow, but of gratitude. She had walked through pain, through loss, through whispers and shame, and yet she was rising. Ola finally understood what her mother meant, that patience is not weakness, and that even in the darkest valley, God never forgets his own. Part 6. Years passed. The young girl who once wept in the quiet corners of Umodium village was now walking the bright white halls of one of the most prestigious universities abroad. Ola worked hard, harder than anyone else. She studied through nights of loneliness and days of exhaustion, always carrying her father's words in her heart and her mother's prayers in her soul. Each letter she sent home to her mother and younger brother was filled with encouragement. She would write, Chidi, my dear brother, don't give up on your books. Study hard. No matter what life throws at you, keep your faith alive. One day, you will stand tall too. Her letters became his motivation. Chidi studied diligently, determined to make his sister proud. He often told his mother, if Ola can do it, then I can too. Years later, the impossible became reality. Ola graduated with honors as a medical doctor. As she stood on the graduation stage, tears rolled down her cheek. She remembered her father's dream, her mother's patience, and Obina's faith in her. After completing her studies, Ola returned home to Nigeria, not just as a doctor, but as a testimony of grace. The whole village gathered once more, this time not to mock, but to celebrate. She stood before them, radiant in her white coat, speaking words that touched every heart. She said, never look down on your beginning. The same God who brought me out of pain can lift anyone who believes and works hard. Her words echoed through the crowd, landing softly on her brother's heart, who by then was preparing to enter university. And there, among the smiling faces, stood Obina, the same man who had once believed in her dream when no one else did. He was still tall, still gentle, and still had that same warm smile. When their eyes met, time paused again, just as it had years ago in the village market. Months later, in a small but beautiful ceremony, surrounded by family, friends, and the villagers who once doubted her, Ola and Obina were joined in holy matrimony. As they exchanged vows, her mother watched with tears of joy, whispering to herself, "Indeed, patience and faith never fail." And so, Ola's story, once filled with pain, loss, and struggle, became a story of grace, perseverance, and divine restoration. And she had risen from the ashes of sorrow to become a beacon of hope. Ola, the girl who once cried by the stream, was now a medical doctor, a wife, a mentor, and a living proof that with faith, hard work, and love, no dream is ever truly lost. The end.